Captain Marvel. Breasts? Butts? Nope. Great art and a compelling storyline? Nope. Captain Marvel 2019. The series blurb says, it's a fresh start and an oversized, star-studded welcome home for a hero who's been punching the glass ceiling since the 1970s. Stories work because there's tension and resolution. For tension, there has to be stakes and an emotional investment in the character. SJW stories in general, and Captain Marvel in specific, fail because there's no tension and nobody cares about the characters. In the Marvel Universe, a female protagonist can't fail. Neither can any non-European character. It makes the stories boring and predictable. Issue 6 is a bunch of 5'6", 130-pound women fighting a 5'6", 130-pound woman. Of course, they all have B cups. Look at that action scene. Are these characters compelling? Do they jump off the page? No, it's just badly drawn, boyish figures that attract no one. Remember that old phrase, attractive people attract people? This is just so bad. Is there any sex appeal to this at all? No, it's just a black smudge. It's just, I don't know if it's badly drawn, but could the inker have saved it? I don't know. That's a guy and that's a girl. I'm not entirely sure. Female characters in general are a hard sell. If you're going to include a story about a bunch of 20-something millennials, you have to make them beautiful. Just absolute knockouts. This story has characters that nobody cares about, a storyline that nobody cares about, and the art sucks. The art looks like it was done by a high school student. Oh, a bonus is that Black Widow's costume is colored so black that you can't see her body. It's just look at this. See this? And what were you thinking when you drew this? How does this get past an editor? If I see this in a book, it means there is no editor, right? The whole composition means nobody's looking over your shoulder. Is that what? I don't know. To be fair, all the characters are drawn poorly. Actually, the whole book just makes me sad. It's a bit depressing to think that this is how a major character is written and drawn in current year. Captain Marvel 6 is an example of a dying industry. There is no way to look at Captain Marvel and think you have created something to be proud of. Just soak that in. That, at least she has pouches, right? And no feet. Allegedly, Captain Marvel #1 opened at 136,000. That was ordered by readers. Ordered by retailers. Shipped, perhaps, but not ordered. Seems impossible, except that there's a $1 billion movie to inspire an interest in the book. Of course, keep in mind, the reason the film made $1 billion was because it was nestled between the two biggest films in history, and Endgame was a decent superhero film. But I have my doubts that Captain Marvel would have made $1 billion if it came out a few years ago. But I digress. So that explains the high opening figure of 140,000 shipped. How many sold? We will never know. You would have to talk to the retailers. How many did this issue ship? I would be surprised if it was more than 20,000. It has a $1 billion film helping it, but it's so bad, like Squirrel Girl bad. In all superhero comics, one of the problems is, the main characters can't be physically hurt. So the way to get around this is to have them solve puzzles and mysteries. Captain Marvel is different because I want everyone in the comic to die. If I had my choice, I would have a few T-Rexes join the party and eat everyone. Good guys, bad guys, whatever. I want to see everyone associated with this Drek get eaten by T-Rexes. I'm not saying that giant carnivores actually have to chew them up and swallow. I'd be pleased if the terrible lizard kings merely tore everyone in half. Let these smaller carnivores clean up the mess. I would like Captain Marvel's uniform poking out from a dinosaur's mouth. I think that would be a nice touch. Of course they're hugging. Of course. Because girl power. You know I'm not a hugger, but I've decided to punish you for saying I'm not funny by hugging you. Also, I didn't get a chance to hug you before, and well, I'm so damn glad you're alive. That's a battery, a harmful or offensive touching. She has knowledge that the girl's not a hugger, and she forces herself on her. That's literally the R word. And then they actually find an interesting character, Doctor Strange, and they, this made me not laugh, but roll my eyes. She bonks two zombies' heads together. Just look at that art. And she bonks their heads together because they're zombies. Bonk. Bonk. Isn't that... If you told me this was written for, I don't know, 10-year-olds, 6th graders, all right, maybe I'd understand that. And then some more stuff happens that I don't care about and nobody cares about because I'm not invested in these characters. And get ready. Oh no, she body swapped us. Anyway, what would they do with the future issues? It would just be a story about dinosaurs. 20 pages of dinosaurs lounging about doing silly Billy things would be better than Captain Marvel. I've read all 6 issues in this series, and all 6 issues suck. The story sucks, the art sucks, the concept sucks. A bunch of 120-pound women with B-cups running around fighting the patriarchy in the Middle East. Oh no, they aren't in the Middle East fighting child brides. They're fighting another 120-pound woman. As Nurkish would say, this is stupid. It's not even so bad it's good, it's just lame. I have no idea who is buying this. Maybe people who are doing their dissertation on the decline and fall of Marvel. Kelly Thompson must have multiple PhDs in bad writing. Anyway, if you bought this book, you wasted $4. This book wasn't worth anything to a comic fan. Maybe if it was $1.50, you would give it to your kid to distract them. But it's $4. Almost any book you found on the shelf at that same price point would be a better way to spend $4. How does this... I already forget the artist's name. But is this ready for the prime time? I mean, if I got together with a buddy and said, hey, we're making a comic book, I'm a writer and my buddy's the artist, and they came up with this, I'd say, hey, this looks fine. This looks fine for an independent comic book. All this looks fine for an independent comic book. If you said, hey, this is on Indiegogo and you're supporting Comicsgate, all right, I'll pay for it. I'd pay, the $35 for the book and the shipping to support Comicsgate. But this isn't Comicsgate. This is Marvel. This is, I was going to say they're the best in the world, but that would be Japanese comics are the best in the world. Oh man, this is so sad. It's just, no, they're not the best in the world. But anyway, this is Marvel Comics. It shouldn't be Marvel Comics. It should be, I don't know, your local, your neighbor. Anyway, this is the passive aggressiveness of Marvel today. Stan's Soapbox, November 1968. Stan's Soapbox. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. But unlike a team of costume supervillains, they can't be halted with a punch in the snoot or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to destroy them is to expose them, to reveal them for the insidious evils they really are. That's the open marketplace of ideas, and sunshine is the best disinfectant reasoning. The bigot is an unreasoning hater, one who hates blindly, fanatically, indiscriminately. If his hang-ups, don't be sexist, Stan, is black men. He hates all black men. If a redhead once offended him, he hates all redheads. If some foreigner beat him to a job, he's down on all foreigners. He hates people he's never seen, people he's never known, with equal intensity, with equal venom. Now, we're not trying to say it's unreasonable for one human being to bug another, but although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, patently insane to condemn an entire race, to despise an entire nation, to vilify an entire religion. Sooner or later, we must learn to judge each other on our merits. Sooner or later, if man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance. For then and only then will we be truly worthy of the concept that man was created in the image of God, a God who calls us all his children. Peace and justice? Stan? They include this for a little passive aggressiveness, but this doesn't say what they think it says. But honestly, Stan in 1968 would have been a Democrat, a left of center guy in 1968. Nowadays, he wouldn't. I don't even know if he'd be left of center anymore. If you asked Democrats in 1968 about issues like open borders or giving illegals free medical care, they would look at you like you were out of your freaking mind. Anyway, this thing he's talking about, an entire race to despise an entire nation, an entire religion. Well, that applies to all races, all nations, and all religions, except the left wing seems to forget that the left wing is the most hatred-filled, intolerant group of racists and sexist and bigots imaginable. If you think it's unacceptable to hate one race because of an immutable characteristic of the race, then that principle applies to all races. It applies to all religions. Islam as well as Christianity. I get the feeling if they thought they could get away with editing this, I would like to see how they would rewrite it in in 2020, because it says some of what they want it to say, but I get the feeling it doesn't say all of what they want it to say, because he's applying these principles, these Malaman say global principles of not judging one and poisoning the well or applying it to the well. But this kind of passive aggressiveness, it's just, I just roll my eyes because these people are I didn't get their names on there. These people who put this kind of stuff together. The boat is sinking, and they are rearranging the deck chairs. Anyway, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and leave a like and a comment.